Right, I'm getting wired for sound, or wired for heat. Let's go test it out. Nice and toasty, lovely. So this video is all about connecting up your heated gear, your riding gear to your bike for the oncoming winter. Here in the UK it's been really mild this autumn and into winter so far, and even today it's still really mild. But I thought, you know what, I've delayed setting up my electrical wiring harness on my bike, on my heroic Harley, so I thought it was about time I did it. Now, why I've decided to come out on a dirty track, I do not know. I've basically ruined the glorious looks of the heroic Harley. Anyway, enough of that. Whether your heated gloves, I've got a heated jacket on underneath with full sleeves as well, and well, I think they're a worthwhile investment. I've got to say, I got these last winter and I rode with them all winter, never had an issue at all. So just for your information, I'm wearing a Kais jacket, full sleeve jacket, heated jacket, and I'm actually, this year I'm riding with the Gerbing XRL heated gloves. Both of these I got last year, but I rode with the Kais gloves last winter. But I've got to say, just getting your wiring harness sorted out, that's an easy thing. And if you watch all my videos last year, I'll show you how I did it. And I just use an electrical accessories manager. I use the Hex EasyCan, really great bit of kit. Anyway, so the thing is, I hadn't tried any of this since last winter. I just sort of put it away in storage, got it back, and I thought, well, let me put it on the bike and see if it all works. And it does. Now, with these things, of course, you can connect them directly up to the battery of your bike as well. But all I would say is, if you've got lots of electrical accessories, so for your bike they might sell a wiring harness or something that you can connect all these up to, and just connect the harness to the battery as opposed to connecting each individual one. Anyway, for me, I've got my gloves, I've got my jacket, I've also got my phone charger and also my air horn, all wired up to this electrical accessories manager. Hold on, I better test that air horn. Hold on. Yep, still works. By the way, you can still get stickers from the website if you want them. Anyway, they're all on there. Also, the merch is on there as well, t-shirts and all that sort of stuff, if you're into that kind of thing. Just want to say thanks for all the support on the channel as well recently. Really appreciate that, and also all the live shows that I've been doing as well. I hope you're enjoying those too. But I do find with especially the winter weight gear or the heated gear that that I wear in winter these days, it's kind of like you haven't worn it all year, so you've got to see, one, if it still fits, is it still fit for purpose? And in the case of the heated gear stuff, well, you got to rewire everything and make sure everything's okay, and make sure that the jacket works. And there was a moment where I thought, oh, maybe this jacket isn't working again, but it just took a couple of seconds, and well, for me, it's actually a little bit too hot. Even in the depths of winter last year, when I had it on the highest setting, it was just way too hot. I had to have it on the lowest setting, and that keeps it a nice warm temperature. Otherwise, it just almost, well, I wouldn't say it burns you back, but it's pretty hot. The gloves, I would say, keep your hands warm. I wouldn't say really roasting hot, I would say warm. I mean, I got a problem with my hands anyway, in that they're always feeling the cold. But gloves, no matter what they are, no matter what heated gloves I've tried, they keep your hands warm, but not great. I mean, I had contemplated earlier this year, I actually went to the Harley dealership to look at heated grips, and that's still on the cards. I may go and get some heated grips at some point, but they are quite expensive. But needs must and all that kind of stuff. But I gotta say, for me, it's not a problem that I have on the palm side of my hand or my fingers. It's on the outside, so that's why I use heated gloves as opposed to heated grips. Heated grips are great for your palm side, but not the outside, if you know what I mean. That's why I've got these wind deflectors on as well, to help with that as well. The one drawback of heated gear is that you've got wires and cables all over the place. That's if you're powering it from the bike, of course. If you're running a battery pack, there's no problem. So usually this is what happens when I get into the autumn, especially with the gloves. I use the batteries. I use battery power for those. These Gerbing XRL gloves are really good, and a lot of gloves like this actually, they can either be powered by a battery or by the bike itself with a cable. So you know, always great. But in the autumn, when it's kind of coldish but mild, I tend to just run with the batteries, and then the same again in spring. I just run with the batteries, especially on shorter journeys. But in the winter and for longer journeys, I go to powering it up by the bike. Seems to work for me. When I was talking about this last year, one of the questions I got on a regular basis was, well, how do you know you're not overpowering the bike with your electrical accessories? And this, unfortunately, is a calculation that you're going to have to do yourself. You're going to have to see what your total consumption is on your bike as it is in terms of your current draw, what the maximum allowable would be, and that would be by your battery and your charging system to see what the maximum allowable would be. And then you've got to see, well, okay, have I got extra lighting on there? Have I got heated gear? Have I got high powered stuff going on? Am I powering audio? That kind of stuff. And what you must do for every circuit, every electrical accessory that you put on, you must put a fuse on it. Okay, you must put a fuse on it. Okay, because otherwise you can overload, and even if it starts to overload, at least you're only going to blow a fuse and nothing else. But what you need to do, you need to add up all the maximum current draw, the amperage of each circuit that you're going to put on, and see if you have them on at the same time, will that overload your electrical system on your bike. Okay, but the same could be applied for a car, of course, and any other vehicle. So let's say, for example, the gloves I got, they've got a maximum draw of 2.4 amps, I think. The jacket is a maximum draw of 5.6 amps. So basically it's 8 amps. That's my maximum draw just with these two. So I know with my bike and the maximum allowable amperage and the usual consumption, so I know between the maximum and the minimum figure there's about 20 odd amps to play with. So I'm only using 8 amps, let's say, so that's absolutely fine. Let's say if I put on the air horn, that's another 2 amps, and that would be, has to be running consistently. Okay, so then we've basically got 10 amps which I'm using on my electrical accessories. Then I start putting on my lights, my external lights. Let's say that's another 4 amps. So all of a sudden I've got 14 amps which I'm playing with. That's still well within the 20 amps. I wish there was an easier way to explain it, but unfortunately you've just got to do the maths yourself. You've got to work out, you know, what your power consumption is, and you know, if your bike can take it. You may have to invest in a bigger battery, you may have to invest in a higher output charging system, that kind of thing. But most of the time that isn't necessary. Let's say even if you're going to overwhelm your electrical system with having everything on, just make sure that you don't have everything on at the same time. So you don't have your heated gear and your air horn and your external lights on all at the same time. You just kind of modulate or moderate what you have on or what you use. And here endeth the lesson, I would say. Enough of all that. Right, I'm just going to take the dirty girl that is a Heroic Harley now. I'm going to take it down that muddy track down there, back onto the open road, and go get warmed up. I will say this about heated gear, right? It's like you're sat in a heated room on a winter's day and you're all wrapped up and you've got the heating on. Then you go outside and you're even colder than you would normally be because you've just been so warm and toasty inside. You go outside and you're absolutely freezing. However, if you'd been cold in the first place, you won't notice the temperature difference so much. So as soon as you disconnect the heated gear, whilst there is a little bit of residual heat, instantly you notice the difference. It's amazing, really. Even on a day like today, you notice a difference. And with that, I would be on my way. But all I can say is thanks for watching. And if you're thinking about putting electrical accessories on your bike, just do that quick calculation. Try not to have everything powered directly from the battery. Try to get some kind of harness or electrical accessories manager for your bike, whatever it is, whatever's compatible, and away you go. But you know, if you're in doubt, Just don't have everything on at the same time. That's all I can say. Right, catch you again whenever that is. Ta-da.